Hello, everyone. I think I'll start now. It's pretty early here in the morning in China. So, can everybody hear me? If everybody can hear me, just type something in the chat box. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Yeah. Yeah. I not sure what time it is in the United States, but it's pretty early in the morning here in China. So some of the speakers I invited today from China, really appreciate it because it's really early, and I know there are some participants in Singapore, other places probably will join later, but I think I would just start this conversation. Yeah, and I think today I see most of the participants are actually the founders of different companies. So for this summit, it will be very high level. I think it will be very high level, between different founders from different parts of the world, and then sharing. Uh, okay, so I will first start introducing the Chinese market and see what's the opportunities we work together. Yeah. So as some of you might know, we actually already held an offline event in the center of China in Shanghai. We held a global immersive summit in China almost a month ago, almost a month ago. So the videos you already saw are actually the short clip about the what we have uh, for that summit. So I could replay it to you guys. So we really have a lot of people coming into this conference, and actually in China, it's still in the COVID situation is also pretty serious, but a lot of people actually take part in this event. I'll introduce in a little bit. Really, I think it's one of the most important events of this kind in China, because we really gather people from different field industry to come to share the most advanced or uh, uh, information about different companies in China. Yeah. So I'll turn to my presentation about sharing with you guys what's happening in China. So I'll first start with what is NeXT. So for some of you might know NeXT is we are a consulting firm. So we're focusing on immersive experiences. And in the past year, past 2 years, we already organized the most important events in China and help organize some events in United States as well, or take part in other events. Especially this year, we take part in most of the events like immersive events, like virtual reality related events, and also metaverse events. We have organizing all these kind of events in China. And then this year we want to organize this next summit is purely organized by NeXT, because we found there's something missing in the previous events, because most of the events, let's say most of the events we have organized in China before is more focusing on some government backed projects, and it's more like a tourism oriented projects. It's not focusing on a broader landscape of the immersive industry. But for us, since we were born in New York City, so at the very beginning, our core is helping people in from different cultures to connect to each other. So that's the reason why this year we are organizing events that's different from every other event in China. So we want to build up this network to give insights and co-create something. So that's the core of the reason why we are organizing this next summit. Yeah. And so what we do is we actually do at the very beginning we are like a bilingual uh, media service agency for both for global immersive experiences. And we also a consulting firm. We release reports and also doing consulting for immersive projects. And also for some of the projects we will take part in, even investing in some of the projects. So this is our a media capability. We have uh, different media channels, both in Chinese and in English, and we organize different events across in United States and also in Shanghai. And we also do some like consulting for like different companies. Especially like by the end of this year, we're gonna release a report bilingual in both in English and in Chinese about like what's happening in the LARP game in China. So I will introduce a little bit later in this conversation it's pretty different in happening in China. And we also take part in many of different projects. For example, like this one is we take part in these events. It's called like the Phantom Detective. It's something very similar to the ones in United States. Is the Zenshi Fail. So it's happening in one single building. So each time there will be around I think there will be something. Yeah, it happening in a grand mansion in Beijing, the premium location here, and also then uh, uh, it has many different storylines, and people could follow different characters and take part in this experience. And also we help doing some marketing campaign for other different immersive events. Because this one is happening first in Europe and then introduced to China. So so on the other hand, we also actually introducing many different projects and help them landed in China. And for this immersive the summit, we actually for the summit already happening in China, the offline events, we actually successfully connected different companies to this event. But they are from different different industries even. For example, like Epic, our friend, and Lucid, we are actually creating immersive experiences and kind of like the connection in different parts of the world. And also we invited some real estate developers who closely combine with content with the location. And also many of the IP holders they are creating these events and empowering. For example, like iQIYI is the most important online streaming platform in China. It's something equivalent of Netflix in the United States. So so we also invited them to come because they actually licensed many of their IPs to different content immersive experiences in China. And also a Modern Sky is kind of the China's largest music brand. They are managing many very famous Chinese musicians, artists in China. And also some companies listed companies in China, they already start to invest in the immersive industry. And also some nowadays very popular concept, for example, like metaverse and NFTs. So these are from different aspects. When we are gathering all these people coming in together, we could we actually learn a lot from how this industry could move forward with the help of different aspects, different knowledge. Yeah. So so as you can see, it's from from market side, the real estate side, content creation side, also investment side. So that's something really special when we are organizing these kind of events. And we for NeXT, we actually started very early in United States in 2019, and last year we returned back to China, to Shanghai. We have our office here, and then we build connections to different parts of the world. So that's also the reason why we are organizing these events. We want to become the bridge between the East and the West to help connect different parts. Yeah. So on this summit, we actually created this event special meeting on Zoom, especially for the people who are not familiar with China. So again, I want to thanks really appreciate my the creators in China to take part in this events because it's really early here in China. But we want to present to the world what's happening here and to see if there's possibilities to collaborate together. Especially when some projects was introduced to China, you need to find a local partner. So in the long run, and also on the other hand, many of the the speakers I invited here, the Chinese creators, they also have the capability to export kind of their experience to other parts of the world to learn more about Chinese culture. So I think it's a two-way thing that we could both benefit from that. So in this summit, I will introducing many things. at the very beginning a little bit about like how we interpret immersive experiences. So when we see immersive experience, we are seeing it like a 3D, 3 dimension immersed content like storytelling. So because before we will think about like no matter is we go to a theater or see a movie, is one scene one by one is playing different scenes. But like for immersive experiences, it's more about like a content. It's more about like 3D content. So you're immersed in this content and about like 3D storytelling. So that's something very special. So when we interpret it, what is immersive experiences, I think it's a mixture of like 3 different elements. First is content. Content is most important things. So we have interactions like immersive theaters. We have different ways of storytelling, but also other parts are technology like virtual reality, like augmented realities, like IoT stuff. So these elements are adding to like this field. And also the other part is about space. So that's the reason why we related to real estate companies. And also for this event, especially on offline event in China, actually most of the participants over several hundreds of like over 100 people are very high level decision makers from different real estate companies because they see this trend is happening in China. So when we see this, it's actually a mixture of like 3 different elements. And then like the other thing, on the other side, like the consumer are changing as well. Like according to this like analysis from McKinsey, actually the younger generation, they will consume more about experience related services instead of like just purchasing goods. So that's how we interpret the immersive content, and that's how we like we will do this kind of things. And then I think the most like important thing and what attracts you guys is about what's the real situation happening in China. So in China, actually, immersive experiences is really large, and we have, because we are doing this kind of like a big data like analysis. So before, like in the last year, actually, Beijing, Shanghai, this first tier city definitely are the most of the immersive experiences will come to this kind of like first tier cities. Especially, Sleeping Mall has been introduced to China, to Shanghai, only in Shanghai right now. But like from this year, we realized that like this trend is actually expanding and spreading to the rest of the China. So Wuhan, some of you might not even heard about like because it's not the first tier city in China, but Wuhan has now surpassed Beijing and Shanghai, become the #1 city in China, uh, who has the most in murder mystery stars. So which tells something is about like in China, actually there are many different new opportunities, not only just happening in the first tier city. So this thing is becoming the new trend for the younger generation. So even second tier cities, it might be a center for like immersive experiences. On the other words, like the market is really big, and uh, and these two pictures actually shows different scenes about like this is, you could see this something very like trade fair, but it's just the trade fair for like this is for like a LARP game. LARP game is kind of like a table, for example, like a people, 6 different peoples will play their roles and then like playing a game. So this kind of like the script trading for all these things, and you could see it's already like had a trade fair of such scale, and the picture on the right, the right picture shows actually, I think I'll just turn on the later part. So this one actually shows you this is the trade fair for escape rooms in China. So you can see like each unit is actually one company. They are actually for example, like they started in one single city and it's very popular, and then they come to this fair. Many people from different parts of China will come to try to make it to the introducing these experiences to their city. So as you can see, like the market is already pretty large in China, and on the market there are already many different immersive experiences, you could even very simply find one and then launch a business in other cities. And from the consumer side, you could see also you could it actually opens up, because before escape rooms were more focusing on solving the puzzles, but nowadays in China it's more like a social events. So people will come with friends, and it's not focusing on just simply to do the deduction, do the solving the puzzles. It's more like a social event, so people could dress up and even make up on the on in during these experiences, and people will take pictures and sharing. So this borrows some elements even from the new media exhibition, but this is actually makes why it's so popular in China. That's one of the most important reasons why it's very popular in China. And some of the social media platform such as Red and also TikTok are actually help this trend to expand as well. And then in terms of the content, no matter it's escape rooms or LARP games, it's actually it's also not only focusing on previously murder mystery, all the kind of stuff. For example, this one is called Hello in Chinese. It's actually tells a story about telling about a love story. So all the people participating in this experience, they will trying to by reading the scripts and playing a role, they are actually experience a romantic experience. So after that, many of the people will cry when they realize the facts behind this story. And this type of new content is very popular during this year, in this year. So and the ones in the middle is another LARP game in China. So you can see this is the the Chinese one, but it's ancient Chinese one. So this game, by playing this game, you actually need to drink a lot of wine, which also makes it a very popular a social event. And this release, the third one actually relates to the history about the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party. So it is even related to something to if you want to deliver some concepts, you could also using this kind of LARP game. So on this page, actually, it tells you in China, LARP games, murder, escape rooms are not only focusing on one single type of form or content, is actually pretty wide. So in terms of telling the content, telling the stories. And then a new type of experience is coming in China as well. Is this is called this trend is called murder immersive theater. So, but it's pretty different from Sleep No More. Sleep No More, as you may know, it's more focusing on, it's more a single building, and then people could go into that building, and then it's more in the form of a theater piece. But this one is actually a mixture of LARP game, murder mystery, escape room, and theater piece. So each people actually play a role. They have their mission during this 2 or 3 hours experiences, and you could choose which party you could choose different parties. For example, you could imagine for such game, there are around 30 to 40 different peoples during one experience. Simultaneously, they will attend these events. They will divide into different parties. So for this time, for example, this time you could choose, you could be a nurse, and then you finish some missions, and but you could see other people playing with you together. Sometimes you play together, but sometimes they'll do their individual missions. But later on, after this experience, you might want to try another party the next time. So this is something you even build some a sandbox model. It's more like a offline sandbox video game, but you are playing a role into it. So this type of new content, which is a mixture of different elements from different immersive experiences, is super popular in China right now. And right now they are adding some other technical elements into that as well. For example, many people will tie some like tablets into their wrist, and then like it will count what points you get, and then it's really like playing a offline video game in an environment. So this type of content is really very popular in China. The video we already shared like before, and from William from ProbeNotes, they are doing one in Shanghai right now. It's just open, so you could see some of the images before. It's pretty popular here. Okay, and then so this type of content also requires a large space. So that's something. That's the reason why we like introduce a lot of like major US developers to China as well. That's also the reason why they want to take part in this immersive summit as well. For example, like many are actually seeking for large, over 1,000 square meters, like garage space in China. So we are also helping them to do this kind of location scouting stuff to provide this kind of service. And then this thing is like, as you can see, this programming adding to each other. That's a new way of like new trend happening in China. For example, like for a LARP game or murder mystery, you just spend like 3 to 4 hours to play together with your friends, right? But in China, a new type of form is coming, is when you not only playing this game, like for example, before you just play for 3 to 4 hours, but now like if we adding more content, adding more like a different like storylines, you could expand this 4 hours content to even 14 hours long. But if you make the content 14 hours long, definitely you need to sleep and eat during this whole experience. So they are combining this kind of like content, immersive content, with some hotels and other food and beverage catering like services and accommodation together. So it becomes a new type of like a trend in tourism, which makes it like a 2 days, 1 night stays, 1 night, and then play for 2 days. This kind of new model is also pretty popular in China, especially during the weekends. Many younger generation, young people will even take a flight to some specific location, experience the story, and then stay there for the whole weekend and then come back. So that's a new trend in China as well. And you can see some of the these also is kind of like a you could imagine this kind of new type of content is really works well when it's combined with tourism. So this is a location in Shenzhen. Before it's just a cultural street. People will just come into this space and buy something and then leave. But now, since there's content inside, and you could play a role, you could even dress up and play this role, it becomes very interesting. So people will, as I said, like you will choose different parties and then experience this, and then to experience the ancient story. Yeah. So these are all the images or videos from this type of experience. And also it requires a large piece of land. Actually, it covers a large land to do this. But this year also what's happening in China is this is really high level information. Is actually people not studying or doing consulting in this field, actually they won't realize what's happening. But this year when we are talking to different companies and then we are doing the research, we found like in 2021 is actually a year of reshuffling and iteration in China. So why do we see that? Is first the supervision or the governance from the government. So as you can see, for escape rooms, especially escape rooms set like a very close environment for the fireproof stuff is really an issue. But before, since this industry is just emerging, so not too many people actually paying attention to these things. But nowadays, since many people actually, especially younger generation, really starts choosing the escape rooms or LARP game as their main way of recreation or meeting people. So it attracts attention from the government. It's just happening in like in the third quarter of this year, like the government start to not only paying attention to the content, they will do the supervision. You cannot do very extreme content. And also on the other hand, they will like really send people to come to the escape room to check if it's safe for this generation to for the younger people to play in this space. So I it's actually like it's I mean this is a good thing is also it's kind of like a definitely when you are when considering opening a new murder mystery place or like a escape room, you need more like a money or consideration into these things. You need to build up all the solutions, the merits, but also like so it actually increases the bar, the benchmark for opening a store. But like on the other hand, it's really good for this industry from our point of view because it makes it more safer. Otherwise, if something really bad happens, it will be cause larger damage to this industry. And on the other hand, it's like IP licensing is coming to coming to this industry as well because before many people actually doesn't have the budget to get a license to combine it with the immersive experiences. But like for happening in this year, many like very famous IPs start to even they intend to like find immersive content creators to together work with them. For example, like these are all very popular like video game IPs in China, and they are now not only releasing video games online, but also for the offline escape rooms, they will give the license to some very good companies to do this kind of like escape rooms in China. So on the other hand, it actually expand the I mean more people will come into will try to experience this kind of new content. So as I said, like iQIYI, some the largest like online streaming company in China, which also comes to our offline events, they are already like giving the license to different like types of new kind of immersive content to attract more people to this industry. And then another trend happening in China is venture capitals is really start to invest in this in this like we could say it's a new track because even the last year we have very close connection with venture capitals because many of them will come to us and to ask for our suggestions whether it's worth investing and the most common questions they will ask is about like okay whether it's a sustainable thing like it's just a will happen in this year and then will disappear or not. But this year, many of the venture capitals they already like look, seeing. I think it's more sees more clear about this industry and they feels confident about their future. So many famous like venture capitals, such as IDG, like Matrix, and even like Sakura, these kind of capitals start to investing in different companies and also some large companies. Some of you might know, like this is NetEase. It's also a listed company in video game, and it's a large platform actually in China, similar to like Alibaba and Tencent in China. They are also they are starting their own like subsidiary companies to doing this kind of like escape rooms and other types of content. Also, some like artificial intelligence companies like SenseTime in China they are also they actually get the license of a very famous like sci-fi novel Three Body Problem. They got this license and then produce offline immersive experiences in China as well. So many of the tech companies are joining the force as well. So this is the new trend happening in China. From these two sides, like not only IP, like capital and government supervision, we could see like in the future next year there will be more very high end with a lot of abundant budget but also like very famous IPs come to the market. Something I think is pretty similar to what Netflix is doing in the United States. They are also like using their IPs and create many immersive experiences. Yeah, and then I'll talk about like some trends and also opportunities happening trends and opportunities happening in China. So as I said, like there's a very obvious trend happening in China. It's about like the emergence of online and offline. When I say online, it's more about like some televisions, for example, like CBS in United States. So this Mongol TV is a very popular television in China. So they are releasing this kind of like a TV series. It's called like Who's the Murder? Who's the Murder? They will invite celebrities to come into this event to kind of record how they play the escape room. So this thing actually makes this industry very popular because many younger generation they are attracted by the celebrities, and then like they will start to experience by themselves. So from the side of the Mongol TV, they are kind of like not only they are shooting this this video series, TV series, but also they are opening stores offline in different parts of the China. For example, this is Shanghai. They opened their flagship like escape room stores in Shanghai, and then many other cities like Changsha and different cities. So from the audience side, they actually not only they could see this kind of content online, but also they could experience it offline. So this is a new trend, and many different streaming platform are doing the same thing. For example, like ICE. As I said, they are giving their IPs to different creators in China to help them to create some offline experiences. So from the audience side is you could see like you are kind of experiencing seamlessly between the online and offline. And some kind of another trend like also is related to both online and offline is new ways of new technologies actually combined to this experience as well. For example, these are the virtual concert organized by ITE as well. So these are all very popular celebrities, like girl bands in China. They're doing this kind of virtual concert stuff, and these are, as you may know, these are virtual production process uh, in China as well. In other parts, and in China, this kind of new technologies coming into the entertainment field and make it seamlessly between the online and offline. And the other side is about since escape rooms and murder mystery is very popular in China. This kind of new content is combined with other different scenes or environment. For example, UME is an international cinema chain, so theater chain. Before they actually just playing movies in their theaters, but now they're combining with a very famous immersive escape rooms companies in China to create a new experience. So on the other side, the immersive escape rooms is already kind of disrupting the original movie industry, so this is something already happening in China. We are also looking forward to see what will come out from this experiment, from this collaboration. Because I know the founder of this UME Play, the escape room companies. They are pretty creative. So when they are combining together, it's not I ask a question whether you are creating something similar to a secret cinema, but it's pretty different. They are actually creating based on the content of the movie, but they created some new thing. And in the end, you don't have to, because as we know, some of you might know, for secret cinema, at the end of this experience, you need to see a movie, right? But for this one, it's really creating something new. It's not combining immersive theater with movie. And this one is called it's a murder mystery. It's a LARPing murder mystery companies in China. They are also pretty famous. It's called NiCE. So they are introducing this kind of immersive content to the original hotel industry. So before when you went to a hotel, you just for the accommodation, you sleep and then take part in some events. But now they are turning this into a destination. So when you come to the hotel, you are expecting you're gonna you're gonna expecting and then experience something new here. And then another trend happening in China is about wait, it's about technology. So for example, there's new two trends coming into the original table game LARPing or murder mystery offline styles. So first is they are combining the new media stuff with the script reading experience. So the very last year, like when you are playing like a murder mystery or LARP game with your friends, it's just in a closed environment, and everybody has a script, and then they play their roles, but there's no like a real content. But this year, this trend is becoming very popular in China. Is like many of the stores will adding some projectors into that space and creating some virtual content, creating some animations in the store. So people, when they are playing these roles, they will be surrounded by this kind of animation or other other video content to make it feel more immersed in this kind of environment. So this is not only one location, it's expanding in China. So many different stores are upgrading to this level. And on the other hand, this year, another new trend in China is combining this LARP or murder mystery experience with virtual reality. And it's very popular. We could see we saw this kind of experience come to market early in the second quarter of this year. And then after 3 or 6 months, we could see most major cities in China, they all have this kind of new experience. What's special is about they are still you are playing a role, and then you are discussing making the deductions and with your friends together on how to do this kind of what's the content and this kind of experience. But later on, when you are trying to find the clues or something helping to solve these puzzles, you will come to this virtuality environment. More like playing a video game. You're working with your teammates together to finding this experience and then to move forward. So these are something pretty new happening in China. Is adding more technology side to China. And then these are two cases we saw happening in the United States. It's a mix combining of a combination of real estate development with immersive content. So these trends is happening in China as well. Although at this stage there's not too many real estate developers comes to the market, but we could see, especially we are doing these things as well, introducing these new types of offline real estate model. And then many people are already designing or thinking about doing learning from this kind of new typology, and then combining immersive experiences with your traditional retail or other programs in terms of develop the real estate. And something very happening very interesting in China as well is about this kind of supply chain on the supply chain side. So this is a kind of a developer board or motherboard from one company in China. They are combining Wi-Fi modules and different models into one developed kit, and then they are selling this. This company is focusing on designing and developing this type of equipments, and they sell this to different escape room developers creators in China. So for these kind of companies, they will more focusing on for creation companies, they will more focusing on creativity and the artistic side about how this experience, how the audience experience, which leaves the space for another type of company who will focusing on technology side. They will creating these things and then selling to different escape rooms in China. So I could share with you guys the data is in China is now around is over 10,000 different escape rooms in China. So you could see if I focusing on developing the equipments you could serve a market about like you will have like more than 10,000 or even 20,000 different like buyers from you. So this is actually a pretty steady or a good like a market to doing focusing on one thing. On the other hand, like that's also how I see the opportunities to working with different parts of the world is because like in China, there are already some companies focusing on like creating this kind of new things. You could focusing on other parts. So in terms of like manufacturing, like production talents, different app development, it's all have the kind of like a opportunity to collaborate with the world. Yeah, especially many of the merchants, some of the gadgets like if you are manufactured in China is pretty cheap, very cheap, very cheap. So like for this market, we realize especially for escape rooms in China, since there's one unit is there's one like a dominant ticketing apps in China, which makes the purchasing about like escape rooms, especially for escape room experience, you need to find like six different people. So some of them might be strangers, but like if there's a dominant app in the market, which will make this kind of like a purchase experience very easy. You could find other strangers to together play with you, and there are some like social functions adding to these and comments and all these things as well. So this kind of like a already mature product could be like introduced into other parts to make the whole industry like more fluent as well. So in terms of this collaboration, we see many different opportunities, and we are also trying to have like some of the companies in China. They might even never go abroad before, but we will help them to trying to catering to the local cultural standard and make the collaboration more smoothly. Yeah. So what's next? That's also the reason why we are organizing these events. Like since all the participants are high level like founders of different companies from different parts, we are trying to build this connection. And for us, we do have like knowledge in terms of like a space creation and also technology side. So we found some new like field and also like some new experiences, new directions we are investing in. We are trying to like develop something. One is about artificial intelligence. There's one company in China which is our friend as well. Like they are doing this kind of like developing this artificial intelligence model by by using the like GPT-3 model. So they could generate like autonomously generate some like NPCs. First they were used into the online video games, but now we wish to work with them together on creating the scripts or like experiences for offline immersive theater and also LARP games. Yeah, and this image actually shows the ticketing platform. They are already using deep learning to, since there are many different products in China, many are uploading their information. So they are already using deep learning to try to like learn about what exactly is this new experiences, and then like recommend this experience to the specific audiences or customers who will be interested in this thing. In terms of, you could see like different types of scene, or even how many people will take part, and what is the category, different parts, different ways of evaluate these new experiences. So this kind of like artificial intelligence is one thing I think is pretty essential to the future immersive experiences. And for example, if you guys want to like collaborate, I could also introduce it, like all these companies. And also the other part is called 5G plus IoT, Internet of Things. For us, when we are doing some projects, we already like first of all we will do like a quick 3D scan about like the location and trying to add augmented reality content to the original experiences. So these are new trends happening, and we will see more of this will come to the market next year as well. this is a project like from the lab of Columbia University, where I graduated as well. Is it's just something like following this trend is adding this kind of like a smart IoT stuff into this kind of like a new adding the smart environment technologies into combined with an experience to make the environment much smarter. Something very similar to what we are doing here, combining with artificial intelligence, and also like a virtual being. Virtual being is something already happening as well. For example, like some virtual concert you might know, and also like she's very famous VTubers on YouTube and Twitch, and these are images like happening in China. This is something very it's called 洛天依 in Chinese. So this is a virtual concert in China, and the China's largest kind of like a UGC online platform is called Bilibili, and Bilibili is now the home for many virtual beings or VTubers in China. And this market is booming in China as well, and many venture capitals are investing in this field as well. So you could see like nowadays it's not only happening on the offline events, but also happening on some of the even television, like some New Year ceremonies. They were inviting some virtual characters to present, to dance, to make the performance. So virtual being is another thing, and yeah. So as I said, like these are new opportunities like happening, and we are from our side we are trying to do this kind of like global connection. We nowadays we still have like our we call agents are like NeXT researchers in different parts of the world. We have people in London, in New York City, keep finding new experiences, and then like we will work with them together on introducing them to China. Right now, we are already have some of the experience to landing in China. So next year, we might see some of the immersive experiences happening in London or New York, but they will be in Shanghai as well. So after Sleep No More, there will be more coming into. So if you guys have the are interested in coming to China or like collaborate with different like companies, for example, like I said, like the in terms of like the hardware, the equipments, the gadgets, and also some of the projections, virtual reality stuff. There's many things are existing like technologies or services. You could like reach out to us, and then like we will help you connect. Yeah. So this is I think that's the end of my presentation. Yeah. One more thing added to this. Like nowadays, we are actually at the consultant. We actually invited to many of the different panels of the conference. For example, like especially metaverse. So when we see metaverse, we will see it's more like combining the virtual world with the physical world. But the core of it is still social. It's still social. So like in this kind of like new metaverse, how people the virtual world will combine with the physical world. So when we see it, we actually work with some technology companies in China, in terms of like creating virtuality experiences, gaming, and virtual being, all NFTs to it. But also like these tech companies, they will like considering how to improve their hardware, IoT, like the computer vision stuff, to enlarge their understanding or knowledge about like the physical world. So together we are creating this kind of like a metaverse. So for us, we believe, although we are now creating more offline immersive experiences, especially because of this COVID, many immersive experiences moving into online. So, but the things driven, the core of metaverse actually is driven by the content, the experiences. So this is something we were looking to, and we are seeking collaborators together to create this new world. In terms of like the social, it's also is composed by like developer communities, but also creator communities. So right now, like by organizing this like a global summit, we already collect the top resources, not only in terms of the space and the capital and the technology and the content creators in China, and the world. But also on the other hand, we are now, besides the summit, we are creating this kind of like a NeXT Academy. So it's more about like educating or empowering more people who could create these immersive experiences. So we are doing this kind of like training and certification stuff, or even competitions, we're planning to release in the next year to give people ways, the tools to create immersive experiences. For example, currently we are working on a tutorial about like how to create virtual beings virtual beings. Not only using, you could use MetaHuman by Unreal Engine, but like we are also developing a purely open source way how to create a virtual being and to do this kind of like a virtual stuff, which we saw the virtual being is kind of like the foundation for future metaverse. Yeah, and also NFTs, blockchains are all what we are investing in and looking into create a new experience in the long run. Yeah, so that's the that's the end of my presentation. It's like three parts, like interpreting who we are, how we interpret immersive, and also the real situation about the Chinese market, and the trends and technology trends and the opportunities. Yeah, we're really looking forward to hear your thoughts about this, and also like I mean, yeah, this is almost the end of my presentation. So after this, if you guys have some questions about like what I already shared, you could leave the question into the chat box. I'll leave 5 minutes to answering whatever questions you have for me. Yeah. Okay. Do you guys have questions? If you have questions, you could write it in the chat box. I'll answer. Otherwise, I'll move to the next chapter. It's about like I will invite some of the China companies to share what they are doing. Yeah, they are all pretty different. No questions? Okay. Oh, you could. Oh, like anyone has some like suggestions or like how what do you need from the what is okay, David, what are the challenges that few Chinese companies face when looking to outside of China? Oh, that's something really happening. Yeah, I mean I mean like some of the companies, for example, escape rooms and the murder mysteries, the top companies, most of them actually never. I I I think most of them haven't went abroad or live outside of China, so they don't know the culture over there, and also like they don't know the market over there. Because in China, since I lived in both sides, I know like the culture is very different, the market is very different. Yeah, for example, like a murder mystery. When I say murder mystery or LARP game in China, this type of content is not you could, I mean, in both Europe and the United States, yeah, I didn't see this type of like immersive experiences in United States or Europe. For example, like the very basic format is 6 different people playing different roles with a script on hand, and I could show you some because in our company we have some of the boxes. So. Mm, okay, here it is. So you could see like this is a typical LARP murder mystery boxes in China. Okay, I'll turn off the wait a sec. I'll turn off the virtual background. No, okay. So this is our company here in Shanghai. It's still pretty early here. So this is a typical like a murder mystery or like a LARP game in China. So for the companies, this is actually from our speakers, like a company called like ProbeNotes. So you will have on inside you will have like the descriptions for the DM for the organizer, and also like each players will have their own like a script, and you will have all like all the information you need to play this role in this script. And then like you might have some other like small gadgets, for example like small gadgets like some cars to play for information management things. For this type of things, you could sell this kind of like a box to offline murder mystery or like a large game stores in China, and then they will purchase a lot, and then like people will come to their stores to play this game. So this thing I didn't see too many in the in US or Europe, because it's I do went to different like table game stores, but like there are many different more playing. There are different types of like gameplay models, but this is only one model. It's just like playing reading the scripts and make deductions. But for this thing is really very large in China. There's over like 30,000 or even like 50,000 different stores in China just playing this single game, single types of immersive content. So this is something very different. You cannot imagine there is a market for such kind of experiences in United States, but like in China, this is a huge market. So I'm just giving this kind of like example to let you know like the market is very different, and also it might depends on like how this is like marketed. Yeah. So since now there are many people actually take part in this industry, you could think you could say like there's like 30,000 or 50,000 different stores. You could imagine how large the writer space, how many writers in China. But when they are thinking if there's market in the United States, or how we could turn this kind of content into a immersive product in United States, then it's pretty hard for them to imagine to tell the difference. So, but for escape rooms, I think there's something not that much related to the market side, because I saw many successful cases. They started in China, and then like they exported to like the San Francisco or the Bay Area, and it is pretty successful. Yeah. So I think it's more related to like the market side and the culture side. And I think there's like really large need for this, and also I want to mention like the market of like Southeast Asia, although on the geographically like it's pretty near the China, but also the market and the culture is different, and it's different from the United States and Europe. Yeah, so that's something the creators or the the creators in China are seeking like whether it's possible to export their products to other parts. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Otherwise, I think. Okay. If not, I'll hand over to like Yijun Alexander. Okay, ask to unmute. I think I'll hand over like to Yijun, who's the founder of like Mirrorland. What they are working on are actually I think it's more familiar with the Western like players, because they are doing the TRPG table play like role play game, but they are doing it pretty different. Like they are using the app. They're developing apps to do this. So if people are interested in TRPG, I think there's opportunities for you to collaborate with their company. yeah, to kind of like advance this TRPG in the Western world to another level. Yeah. Yijun, are you ready?
Yeah, thank you, Muso.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'll stop share and
yeah.
So you could see. Can you share right now?
Yeah, I'm trying to put on my screen. It's gonna be So how does that look?
Cool.
So does the slides work?
Yeah.
So you can see the animation, right?
Yeah.
There's a TRPG popping up.
Sure.
Right, cool. I'm gonna start from here. So I'm glad to be here to share with you that what we are doing and our brand, what Mirrorland is, and how do we like try to recreate this kind of game and make it like more story generating engine. In the meantime, a complete business model to put that to work in China. And first, I'm gonna start to introduce TRPG. I believe many of you must be familiar with that, or at least you have heard about maybe Dungeons and Dragons, because it was it used to pop up in many TV shows like Big Bang Theory and the Community and Stranger Things, etc. So basically, TRPG is sort of a game that requires 3 to 6 participants. One of the participants will be play as the game master, and the rest of them will be play as the main characters in the game. So the game masters set up a stage. They're sitting around the table, and the game master set up a stage for the main characters to take adventures in them. The game masters gives the players like what sort of challenges they are facing, the characters, the stories they're gonna face in the whole adventure. And in the meantime, the players are able to take almost anything that's reasonable, all the different sorts of actions to resolve the question, the problems they face, and to push the storylines. In the meantime, the game masters will recall to the core rules and scripts the truth behind the story to give them feedbacks. So because it's a communication between people and people, so the responses can be almost unlimited. So the merits of a TRPG is obvious that people can create all these different stories by communicating with each other, but the drawbacks is also apparent because you have to take your character sheet, write down all your character skills, spells, how many spells you use in a day, and your mana value, your inventory, and everything like that. And at the same time, when you play that, right, you need to change the abilities, inventory manually and frequently all the time. So I realized there are many tools, online website tools like Roll20, Fantasy Grounds happening in the US and Western market. But for Chinese people, it's more like a mobile thing. So most of the Chinese, they rely on mobile, and even I think more than half of them doesn't have a personal PC, doesn't have a personal computer. So under this circumstance, we decide to create a application to help TRPG spread in the Chinese market. So our idea is this. We let the system kick in to resolve all the tedious works that like you need to calculate the weight of items, manage your spells, your mana value, things like that. We combine them together. This is the idea we come up with. Mirrorland. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, and then after that, I'm gonna introduce a little bit of that. What of the apps, the softwares we have programmed, and how does it work to make the whole business model happen in China. Firstly is the mobile app. We created the player mobile app so the Mirrorland players, before that I need to say that we also create Mirrorland core rules. It's a TRPG rule, but it can be applied in video games, in or lab games, or even immersive theater, things like that. So everything has something in common. From that a mobile application, the core rules are also like specially designed for mobile user experience, and then players can use this app to manage their character sheet, everything they have accumulated from previous games, like what scripts they and adventures they are able to join, and also in the meantime, who have they traveled together with, and what sort of NPC they have met in the previous games. This is how it looks. The next one is the mobile app for game masters. Game masters is a different story because they needed to take the scripts, usually like in the traditional TRPG game, right? You need to buy scripts like this. This is a one script from Dungeons and Dragons. The tangible stuff, you buy them and you have to prepare all the different stories. The old school one also has its advantage because it makes you immerse a bit more. But here in the Mirrorland, we focus on the portabilities. So game masters can carry the application with them, like all the appointments, the items that I customized for my game, and the scripts, my favorite characters, the ones I want to use in the adventures, and everything else like that. The next part is my favorite part. We also created a script editor where people can write down many different sort of scripts, mainly for TRPG, but they can also do murder mystery and LARP games as well. So the script editor, here the content of it can be exported to the Mirrorland application with a very friendly interface and user experience. Writers here can create their create their characters, their items, their events in the script, and everything else like that. It can be a very useful tool to prevent privacy as well. Here we get more than 50 business scripts here and more than 200 UGC scripts as well on our ecosystem. The booking system, actually, since 2017, the Chinese immersive market has been rising very significantly. The like immersive theaters, like murder mystery, LARP, live action role-playing games, things like that. So we start to wonder if we have all these apps ready and content and our own IP, why don't we start to kicking in the offline market and try to open some Mirrorland stores? Make it more like a one-stop service. Here people can just join the store and they don't have to find other players, other game masters, or they don't have to learn the rules themselves. Just start them very quick. Give me a sec. Yeah, so I will continue from here. And then we start to create the first software to help us complete the offline experience, which is the booking system. Customers, it doesn't matter have you you have known about the TRPG or any rules or anything you need. You can just book our game on our booking system in WeChat, a very mainstream communication tool in China. It's like WeChat is like Facebook or WhatsApp in the Western world. So here, the booking system, you can find your favorite game masters and your nearest stores and just complete it. And when the time arrives, you can just go there and start the game straight away. After having the booking system, we start to realize, since all the experience through Mirrorland need to going through the Mirrorland applications and booking system, why don't we just take that advantage, use it to complete the management system? So under this case, our store managers and game masters can check the repurchase rate, activation rate, and anything similar, the big data collected by the application, so they can know how they improve their the experience they provide. This is the management system looks like. Yeah, here is the complete Mirrorland business loop. And then tools are not everything. Even we have tools, the IP and the content is always the key. So here we created two main Mirrorland world views, world settings. It's like you start from a core rule, and then it comes to words, and then it comes to scripts and specific stories. So like the world is like a Marvel universe, but under Marvel universe, you will have your Iron Man, Captain America, and Spider-Man character stories like that. So the tool we focus on, because we found them has a potential for user generating content to be created, because they have quite a high tolerance for different sorts of stories. And this is the first one. Forgive me, I need to read this out, because the creator of these two worldviews say if you want to introduce them, you introduce them right. So this is what they give to me. The supernatural supervision, our first worldview, SS for short, is built in a modern world with supernatural forces. You are authorized as a special agent of SS, a secret organization funded by the United Nations. So actually here we want to rejoin the different countries all together, so it makes us easier to go overseas. With the mission of protecting human society, you need to explore the truth behind the numerous paranormal incidents and fight side by side with your peer agents, while facing a heated scramble for supernatural resources among nations and governments. So this is a more modern genre, and you can fight the supernatural forces and unveil all the secrets behind beneath the cities. The other one is more like a mix of Western and Eastern fantasy together. It's built in a fantasy world with magical machinery starting between the divine and demonic space, called the Bevendela world, or BW for short. Being an adventurer, you can travel on the Bevendela continent with relics of modern technology and the internal disruptions of religion and nations. Heroic experience is gradually in the making while you walk into different stories: Magic Academy, airship fight, robot wizards, legendary creatures, etc. So in this world, you are not restrained by the strict common world rules. You can just to finish your illusion or fantasy, do the things that you actually really like use magics and try to research some technologies. In the meantime, as I said, we got that UGC ecosystem. Players and our game masters and writers are also able to use the tools to create more different world settings, like cyberpunk, wuxia, or any other modern or ancient world settings as they want. So we also have many different things for our players or in-store customers to experience. I'm gonna make this quick. Yeah, so basically nowadays, we get more than 10,000 offline in-store players, and in our previous 1 year. The first store has only opened for, I think, 1.5 years from 2020. And now we are picking up at a rate of 500%. And I think there will be more and more Chinese and overseas people, players, adventurers having their Mirrorland avatars and exploring all the different fascinating worlds. So this is the story of us. If you want to discuss more about Mirrorland, you can chat later in the Q&A session, and also you can send me email. So this is my email address here on the screen. And that's all. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Anybody has some quick questions, you could directly leave it in the chat box, and then like Yijun could and at the same time, like let me check if William is online.
Yeah, feel free to talk. We're all here to share.
Ask you to unmute.
Hello.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. The next company I gonna introducing like a William from like a ProbeNotes. And I think first I'll help. Yeah, maybe for those of you, William, I think I'll first help you. Do you have the videos about your company?
My video?
Maybe
what kind? I don't have it in my computer, but I think you do have one.
I could.
Yeah,
I could share. Wait a sec. I'll first stop.
I do actually have a lot. I can send it to you right now.
No worries. I think I'll first share this. For those of you, like this video will shows what William is doing in China.
这位少侠，可否帮我办件事儿呢？我也不知道我是谁。请接。
Okay, I'm gonna stop here, and William, you could share your presentation. So that you could share a presentation. Yeah, I'll add a notes like yeah, these are all like the video you see is actually I think it's live like recorded in their escape rooms in China. So you could see like the details or quality about like immersive theaters right now, what's happening in China, and this kind of like when it ties to the ancient like kung fu or wuxia like fields of ancient China, like a theme is really popular in China as well. Yeah. Okay, I'll hand over to William to share to listen to what he gonna introduce. Okay, William, it's all yours.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, a big face of mine. Hey guys, my name is William Wang. It's such a privilege for me to be here to share with you guys. And today I'm going to share with you guys the like our company and like some like how diversified performance of immersive games happen in China right now. So without further ado, let's start it. Once again, I'm William Wan. I'm the co-founder and the COO of ProbeNotes, which is one of the top murder mystery LARP companies in China. And our affiliate brand, Afterlife, as just seen before, owns the biggest escape room in Shanghai, China. Another brand, Immersive Factory, is determined to educate more immersive talents. And I'm personally very passionate about helping like young generation, like Generation Z in China, to develop a meaningful lifestyle. And immersive games have become the most trendy lifestyle for young generation China. And from this bar chart, we can see the immersive gaming in China, such as LARP, murder mystery, and escape rooms, have developed rapidly in 2020. And most importantly, this was done during the COVID. Murder mystery and escape room in China has become the most popular two leisure activities in recent 2 years. And now let me introduce to you guys about what LARP murder mystery is in China, and there are actually majority two types of murder mystery game versions in China. One is tabletop role playing, and another is immersive live action. And tabletop LARP usually takes place at a table, typically involves 5 to 10 people, which each of them acquires a unique script of their own. And following the progression of the game, players will communicate, deduce, and even battle according to their own identities and ultimate goals. And most of the stories evolves around a murder mystery, but with different undertone, including horror, comedy, or romance. And immersive live action LARP is more an advanced version of the tabletop form, where an immersive setting with costumes, real life setups, and NPCs will be provided for the players to have a more elaborate game experience. And one sec. This is our brand ProbeNotes, which have already gained much respect and reputation in LARP murder mystery industry. And these are the posters of our identical script products, including LARP murder mystery products and immersive live actions with different genres. And one of our most popular LARP murder mystery script is called Final Farewell Letter to My Wife. It depicts the journey of revolutionary veterans and their families and how they devoted themselves into fighting to their countries. And the story is based on a farewell letter from a veteran to his beloved wife, written before the night he went to the war. And the game contains 7 players with 4 males and 3 females. And the game remains approximately like 4 hours. And these are the procedures of how the game goes. And one sec. And this is actually the trailer of our script, but somehow there's something wrong with my computer. I can't open it, but Muso can open it afterwards. Moreover, we have acquired more than 100 well-known intellectual properties from various industries and recreate them into the LARP murder mystery script pieces. We have recreated so many work from different fields such as gaming, movies, comics, literatures, etc. We bring the new energy to the original work, and majority of our partners are giants in the entertainment industry, including Disney, like big company in China like Tencent, Mango, and Alibaba, etc. In addition, as I said earlier, escape room in China is also a significant entertaining activity for Chinese young generation. Escape rooms are where all players work as a team to solve all mysteries and complete the ultimate task of getting out of one or multiple enclosed space. And this is our escape room brand Afterlife. And our escape room brand Afterlife have cooperated with so many big celebrities in China. And our first flagship store is open in Shanghai and will soon be spread globally. And furthermore, our educational brand Immersive Factory has cooperated with top universities in China establish immersive educational systems. Students are able to learn like this industry throughout their campus life. And Chinese top author Mr. Cai Jun was named as the principal of our immersive factory. And besides regular murder mystery and escape rooms, there are also some other interesting collaborations. I still remember my first immersive experience was in Casa Loma in Toronto. It was a very enormous, well-known castle, and a mysterious immersive performance in Casa Loma really amazed me. As a content creator, content for me is definitely the most important factor. And however, how to make a rational use of original space such as like Casa Loma has become another easy shortcut to make a good immersive games. So we have cooperated with different like hotels, movie studios, shopping malls, cyber cafes, tourist destinations, etc., to combine with our customized gaming content. And it is proven that young generation in China just love it. And yeah, overall, immersive games in China has become the most unique market individual, and it is still growing not only by size but also with its diversified types of performance. And hopefully in the near future I can see more cross-border international cooperation. And once again, that's all of my presentation, and thanks for having me. And you can also reach me by my email, william@keynote.let. Hope to see you guys. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, William. It's brilliant. Okay. Anybody has questions could also like leave a question in the
can leave
video.
the message on the text box. On chat box, I can see it.
Yeah, and at the same time, I'll also share something William just shared with me, a video about like their new experiences. See if you can.
接下来我们来说一说半个月前的那起骇人听闻的杀人碎尸案。一名中年妇女被杀害之后，尸体遭肢解，装在了2个拉杆箱当中，抛尸在了省道边的草丛里。这个案子在当地闹。
我从来没听过这种事儿。谁干的？我干的。
他们一直就不正常。
This is what I said. Like, so now if you have like a tabletop large game, it will have video content related to it. Yeah. So they will shoot something very similar to a movie combined with immersive content. Yeah.
毒杀人，
谁干的？你们这一笑大了，证据呢？那都是我的学生，可看仔细了。
And I think for this content is actually ProbeNotes worked together with the largest online streaming platform like iQIYI together on these things. It's related to some like content as well. Let me check. Oh, it's from this phone. Yeah, William, I'm not sure if you are there, but like Melinda is asking the question.
全部抓起来，全部把我抓起来！求你别追我了，求你别追我了！
Yeah, I can see your question. I'm gonna answer that afterwards, after the video is finished.
Yeah, I think that's together with like iQIYI.
接下来我们来说一说半个月前的那起骇人听闻的杀人碎尸
Okay.
案。
William, I think you could.
Yeah.
By the way, like add some like background information. Melinda is based in Singapore, Singapore, very good market. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Melinda. I think for me, the most important factor for this type of game is content. So the challenge for me is how to like translate our content from like Chinese, not only by the language, but also I think the culture based, like how to export our culture to Western world or to Singapore. I think for both of our countries, it's kind of similar because we're all from Asia, but yeah, to localize our content to different countries. But I still, in my opinion, I still think good contents can be shared or commercialized like globally. So language is a very big problem, but also like culture-wise, it's another huge problem. So I'm personally very interested to explore our products overseas. If there's any collaboration we can do, I'm very looking forward to it.
Yeah, I see. Okay. Localize, not translate. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, sure. I mean, William, you might ProbeNotes is definitely like one of the top typical LARP game and murder mystery and also like escape room companies in China. So they have good content and good connection with large IPs. Yeah, because I know many of the TV series, like also some of the celebrities from iQIYI are pretty popular in Southeast Asia, especially I remember Thailand and Vietnam. They are pretty familiar with the content. So this type of immersive content add up to all these kind of online experiences together. So I think it will be when it introduced to Southeast Asia, when we localize it well, it will be a pretty good content for the local market. Yeah. Okay, perfect. The last one, last but not least, I'll introduce I think Yao from EcoPlants. Are you there? Hey.
Hello.
Yao.
Hi.
Yeah. Hey. Yao is I'll do a I think you will introduce more in detail, but I'll do a quick note is their company is actually doing something very special. I think it's pretty essential to our conference, to our summit as well. Because not only the content side, as I mentioned, the technology side is also pretty important. So what they are doing is basically, I think it correct me if I'm wrong. It's about the physical, not physical, but virtual assets. But they are actually doing 3D scanning about all the virtual physical content to turn it into virtual, combined with so I think in the long run, when we are mix the boundaries between the virtual and the physical, there are opportunities to do this kind of a digital assets combined with virtuality, augmented reality, add on to our current immersive experiences. Yes. So I think you guys, when we developing the technology trend, we'll have some certain a point of opportunities for collaboration in the future. Yeah. So I hand over to Mr. Yao. Please share with us what you got. Yeah.
Okay. I'll share my screen first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hi. I'm the supply chain and platform director of EcoPlants. So first of all, thanks for the invitation, and I'm so glad to be here and to share what is EcoPlants and how we are doing in the immersive experience. So my talk today will around 3D assets combined with technology and culture. One moment. So EcoPlants was founded in 2018, and it provides self-developed high-precision scanning technology cloud architecture, and industry-leading graphics AI with a series of innovative solutions for customers in the film, games, entertainment, and education industry. So using our technology, it's greatly reduced the content creation, improve quality, improve business efficiency, and stimulate the imagination of the industry. Technology and art in the past have been posted on their own, gradually getting away. Digital travel is the perfect scene where technology and content are combined. So in the foreseeable future, our digital assets library, SaaS cloud platform, digital human technology will make it easy for everyone to access the immersive experience. Next, I want to talk about PBR scanning technology. What are PBR materials? It means physical-based rendering, that the material describes the visual properties of a surface in a physical way, such that realistic results are possible under all lighting conditions. By using PBR materials, we can regenerate reality in virtual spaces. So there will be people and themes in a real world. So that's the virtual world. This is our super realistic AI digital human in CCTV's 4K scientific documentation. We restore the face model, skin texture, blood vessels, and emotions of Mr. Zhang Tenyuan. Next, let's take a look of a few clips together.
Hey.
Yeah. They're in the same one more, sorry.
Okay, no worries.
Okay. So in the theme, we can adjust the key data of the material to create visual effects, such as light reflection, contrast between night and dark, and color temperature. So it's 100% restore the real world environment. So our PBR material has 3 main characteristics. First, similar models can have a different texture by changing its material. And an ordinary Apple model is modified to obtain different textures by modifying PBR material properties. Secondly, in the same assets, same construction, we change the PBR material rendering parameters, such as external environment, light resources to obtain different light and shadow effects, and output of each finished products are coordinated and unified. They are all completely natural. Thirdly, we can adjust the LOD assets to adapt different use cases. In the movie shootings, many close-up shoots needs to use high poly LOD, but in the same scene, taking into account the actual needs, the LOD is adjusted to lower poly settings. As you can see the difference. I'll hold here for 5 seconds. This is a comparison of the digital assets. On our assets library, PBR Max has thousands of scanned assets, including architecture, natural environments, materials, fruits, and so on. They are all made through uniform and strict production standards. capturing the most real object structure and texture, reaching the industry level, film and television level. And we believe that a successful digital assets library can solve industry application problems, improve durability, and ensuring high quality. Next, let's take a look a short clip. Okay, I'm going to use this one.
我在许多奇怪的梦里见过你们，你们阴暗既规则的一起，怀着各不相同的目的。你欲趁前人未竟之业，修功德圆满。
Sorry, based on the NDA, only part of the segment can be played here. This is the most anticipated title in history of Chinese production 3A games. Everyone says the same in the game and comes to Chongqing on the spot, which represents the world's most advanced cave art in 9th to 13th centuries AD. It shows China from different sides during the Tang and Song dynasty, the important development and change of the cave art has an irreplaceable history of historical, artistic, and scientific value. So our team scanned all the relics of Baoding cavern and formed a number of assets which provides the game and integrated into the scene, giving it a film-level visual with rich and detailed information to achieve a truly immersive experience. In the meantime, we hope that more culture and have been inspiring over the past millennia will be built and integrated through digital scenarios. From the data, regardless of whether it is broadcast volume or discussion popularity, the spirit and attention of the critics in the game far exceeds that of the documentation. It also proves that diversified promotion strategy that can drive much more attention. Chinese culture is like a deep on the ground mine. It's not only needs to be excavated, but also needs to be elaborated. We do not lack of raw materials, but we do lack of content creator and storytellers. The immersive experience gives the game more spiritual and make it carry more social functions. The traditional culture of the communication is no longer boring. We want to develop a more valuable content that can integrate it into various scenarios and opening a new business model in the future. Last but not least, I want to say immersive as a business tool can combine with different or existing formats of various industries. In the future, immersion will no longer be a fixed term for any industry, but will be used flexibly combining digital assets in a different scenario to attract and stimulate customers to come and buy products. Let's have a quick look of possible industries and scenarios. This is offline immersive experiences, games, films, museum, and digital trends, online cloud map, immersive culture scene creation, online virtual simulations, and much more. Well, EcoPlants, art is becoming more and more scientific. Science is becoming more and more artistic. The two bricks in the foothills one day will be reunited at the top of the mountain. EcoPlants, we will continue to explore and continue to make effort to provide our customers with a better immersive experience. That's all. Thank you. And you can reach out. You can find more information through www.ecoplants.tech. Yeah, that's all. And yeah, you can email free to email me. Contact EcoPlants.tech too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Thank you, y'all, for sharing with us like what are you doing? Yeah, as I said, I think it's pretty amazing, and also at this time, I think it's right at the time about like really thinking about both like virtually and also like physically, both online and offline, different experiences. So if you and they actually offers really good like foundations for us to create virtual experiences, online experiences by multiply or using their like digital assets. Yeah. So if you guys like wants to do this or like creating this virtual experiences, but and also if you know someone who are creating especially virtual production, like also virtual reality, augmented reality stuff, you could feel free to contact them. Like I think they really have very good content to together work with. Okay, thank you very much for for sharing all this. Yeah. Okay, I think now we're a little bit behind schedule, and it seems like we are all here, like Kimberly and Miranda. Let's together jump into the next session. Yes, let's jump into the next session about like the roundtable. So I'll ask you guys to like unmute and join the discussion. I think since you guys already like heard like this morning's at the very beginning I introduced about like the Chinese market, and also what's the trend and what's the future about like technologies. And I think for the next and also like 3 different companies, one TRPG, one tabletop murder mystery, and like immersive like live action, and one about like technology, like digital assets. So I think it really covers different aspects about like the immersive landscape, both like in China and globally. And since this year we are working on this. I mean, building this connection or bridge. I think we are really only the only organization is really doing connecting all these things in terms of really make it work or land it in China, localized, not only just simply do the marketing stuff. So in terms of how to really realize this, I really want to hear about y'all suggestions or advices, or what's your concern, or what do you think are the most important things to really big or even your requirements, or what's your thoughts about like what are the core questions that we need to specify in terms of like for the next year. I could share a little bit about our plans. So this year, last month, our offline the summit happening in Shanghai is really successful in terms of like media coverage, but also like the quality of speech and also the attendance are really high level in China. So next year we already started planning for the next year. Next year we really want to on one hand inviting more speakers to come and providing more useful content, but also like we are trying to, during this 1 year process, we want to really land something or build up something to make it work. So what's your suggestion? What should be our like main goal or focus in terms of creating this global network? Yeah, I think maybe like Kimberly, can you do you want to share something? Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was just it's not necessarily to your point, but one of the things that I thought was really interesting about all the presentations this morning were that they were all about experiences that can happen virtually, or experiences that, it arrives in a box and you can do it at home, or the app. I thought the app was really interesting, like the role-playing app was really interesting. I mean, I think all of that is I think all of that is really, it's just, I think it's a really good way to go right now, because, in the United States, things are still kind of opening because of COVID, and then kind of closing again. And so live events are still, I mean, things are happening, but it still always kind of feels like it's a little bit risky to put on like big live events. So I think any entertainment that is like, it's like an app and you can do the role-playing game on your phone, or the box arrives at your house, or it's, VR and virtual, is like, I think people are going to be looking a lot for that kind of sort of stimulation and those types of experiences.
Yeah.
And I think doing just more events like this, where, creators can get to know each other, are great. Like more like meetups and networking things with like, the really short presentations, like this is what my company does. And then everyone can talk and ask questions. Like I learned a lot that I didn't know about different parts of the industry just from, the last hour. And that's really interesting. I think a lot of creators in the US would be really interested to learn, like I said, especially with the technology, like so many things not necessarily needing to be live, and being inspired by things that aren't necessarily like Zoom shows, or yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I hope like we actually delicately think about like who will be the speakers and could benefit for the industry, for the ecosystem. Glad to hear that you think it's pretty useful. Yeah, I hope like you could directly contact them, whether to try this like a software, or to or try to collaborate. Yeah, I think it will improve the whole experiences. Yeah, in terms of no matter using the apps or using other tools. Yeah, and also I think this like a two-way collaboration, communication is really important. Yeah, because we actually, I mean, when introducing Sleep No More to China, it actually kind of like bring a new kind of things to the Chinese market. So people start to think about artistically, there's many things could be borrowed into all these things. So I think this two-way collaboration is very important. Yeah, we could learn from each other, and then this market should be growing growing more. And also like I said, I really agrees on organizing this kind of events to let different people know about what's happening. Yeah, it's very important. So I know let's together working on planning this kind of like a dialogue or online more often. I also hope we could have this kind of conversation every month, so people could learn about what's happening, the current trend. Yeah, and also other things I want you to let's together thinking about is really the academy stuff. So in terms of academy is more about education. We are now already started creating some tutorials, how to do an immersive experience. That's something I think we could empower more creators in this industry. For example, like the apps from Eugene company Mirrorland, or the digital assets from EcoPlants. They could all benefit others to make more more mature immersive experiences and to the market, so people could experience it more often, not only just the several experiences you could experience in the market. Yeah. So I think about like these, at least these two things we could together working on. And also I'm thinking about like what about the next year's summit. We wish if the COVID is under control, like people, we could do international traveling. We really wish people could meet together, in some place, whether in Shanghai or other places. And if there's possibility, we wish to hold a festival next year, so people could really, for the general audiences, could take part to experience it by themselves. It's not only a party for all the creators, but also a party for all the audiences. Yeah, so that's our goal for next year. Let's together working on that. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Okay.
I just wanna quickly jump in here and say hello to everyone.
Yeah.
I kind of need to.
I was about to.
I need to bounce already, but like also learned a lot, and I think the key thing I feel is that I really don't know so many companies in China, or like I would love to do the same thing of like getting to know what's happening there, and just continuing this kind of like friendly conversation. Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it there and just quickly jump off, but it's so nice to meet all of you, and please get in touch if you want to do anything in Singapore.
Yeah.
Right.
Perfect. Yeah. I saw you already start contacting like William. William's I do feel like their content is pretty easy. I mean, with your help of localization, it's pretty easy to land it in Singapore, and the quality, as you see from some of the videos, is very high as well. Yeah. And also like as we discussed before, in terms of like the supply chains, I think they will if the border like opens, like the global travel is also accessible, like the factories or the supply chains here in China could definitely like help you to reduce the cost and improve the content, improve the quality and stuff. Yeah. So I think in the long run, like let's together also planning, we should have some like a summit in Singapore, to create this dialogue and learn about these new things to attract more people to get their attention to take part in this. Yeah. Perfect. Please let me know if you have any kinds of like you need help or suggestions. We do have many different resources here. I think we could help you. Yeah, in the long run. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Okay. Okay. Bye. Perfect. Yeah. Okay. I also like I think I'll although like William and Yao and also Yijun talk a lot. I want to also ask you guys questions like what do you think if you for example, Yijun, if you things like Kimberly mentioned like these apps sounds very interesting. They might want to try it. So what do you want to learn about like their needs? Like for example, Yijun, for you guys, if you do you have some questions for immersive creators in the Western world, like in terms of like these things, what do you want to learn about from them?
Yeah. Thank you, Muso. So yeah, I do actually have some questions here because I'm more curious about like what will be their purchase or experience behavior. Like, Kimberly is from US, is it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm in San Francisco. Yeah.
Oh, cool. So will people have you played like Dungeons and Dragons or anything similar to that?
I have before. My ex-boyfriend was really into Dungeons and Dragons, so I played it, once or twice.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah. So will people playing D&D or other TRPG in the US, will they be more inclined to use computers or papers, or if there is a mobile apps, they are more likely to try them? Which will be their behavior?
I do not have enough information to accurately answer that. I do know that there are a few Dungeons and Dragons apps.
Yes.
I just it had never occurred to me to do it on an app until your presentation about an hour ago. And then
Cool.
and then, I was looking to see like, are there apps? And it looks like there are a few, but it just strikes me as like such a like so clever, like, for especially people that are creative and into doing like immersive or interactive experiences, to be able to design their own like Dungeons and Dragons style game and then be able to sell it as an experience and have that be a way for people to connect if they can't necessarily meet in person, or to have like the in-person game and then have like, you can also do it on the app and just do that. Like, it just seems to me to be really like a really natural kind of spin-off, and like a really like, if you're someone who is into design, even if you're a small creator into designing games, but a way to have another like revenue stream coming in where you don't necessarily need to have like live actors or live performers, but you can have like the game, people can just play the game and be engaged with the experience that way. So that's what I really liked. I'm like, that is, because right now, it's still having people in person is, it's expensive and there's protocols. So for people who feel more comfortable not doing that, having an option, I think that's great.
Yeah. And we're actually trying to do is just, make it like a one-stop service. People who, have no idea about Dungeons & Dragons or what a TRPG is, they can just, pop in the store and just start a game straight away. So don't have too much hesitate to learn the stuff or, to do other organization stuff.
Is it available in the US yet, or is it just in China, or what is the plan, or is there?
So our plan at the moment is it's available. I think it's available in the US market. Actually, we organized several games in some universities like Chicago University and New York University, and but we still haven't opened widely because we still require people to give the what we call invite code. So it's only like you are like a state customer, a user, and you can invite your friends. But we don't put it on App Store, and so everyone can download. Because it's not because we don't want. Because usually, TRPG game, you need a game master to organize the whole game, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, the game experience will be: I download this app, I can't find nobody to organize the game for me. Then I leave it straight away. So. But in future, we definitely will do more like marketing stuff and try to make this whole experience complete.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, very good point. I think, Eugene, I think before, I suppose like before this before this summit, like Eugene haven't thought about like expanding the US market, but now you could really think about it. And Kimberly and Steve could really be very good like partners. Expanding
thank
like
you. Frankly speaking, no, I haven't.
And Kimberly mentioned a really good point. I mean, in China right now, we although like last year is the COVID situation is pretty heavy, but everything is under control in China. So the offline stores are actually open to the public, so people could go in. But in the United States and Europe, it's different situations. Most people are still like stay at home. So I think it opens
and it varies. It's also varying depending on what state you live in. So some states are more open, some states are more closed. So it's regional kind of right now. So
I remember like Kimberly and Steve mentioned like during the summit, they share like the virtual part actually developed a lot. So there might be a market for you guys to develop things is based on apps. So maybe like people from different parts, living in different parts, you could connect virtually, but through your apps together on some like or even combine it with your apps with Zoom together, create a like a TRPG experiences. That's possible because I saw these types of cases in United States, like moving the experiences online. Yeah. Okay, perfect.
And
Like
anything
yeah.
app-based, anything metaverse having to do with the metaverse. We're just talking about the metaverse in the last presentation. Like, I mean, that is so big here right now, especially California, Silicon Valley. It's like, I mean, that's pretty much where everyone's mind is at right now, is like metaverse apps. Like,
Perfect.
So you're on the cutting edge,
Yeah,
everyone.
yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Muso, if you don't mind, I have one more thing to add on here.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
so it's just because Kimberly just mentioned metaverse, and I talked to Muso several days ago about how actually Mirrorland want to achieve sort of a Mirrorland universe. Because for us, we persuade people that people have enough reason to use the application in offline experience. That's few people have achieved before, because you need to manage your character, your inventory, your spells, everything there. So under this circumstance, we also use Mirrorland rules to create some like immersive theater, even like tourism projects, and all murder mystery offline experiences. And in the meantime, we also do video games based on the same character you can use in your TRPG store or in your LARP experience. So in this case, people can just use the same character, and that's me. That's my second identity on the in the metaverse or in the Mirrorland universe. So we try to combine this all together, making a whole experience that people can enjoy their second identity, second life. That's what we're doing at the moment.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Very cool. Oh.
Perfect. Okay, I'll ask William and Yao. Do you have some questions? Like you want to learn about like the US market?
I do have a question for Kimberly. Is there any escape rooms in San Francisco or in the whole United States? How many? Like, are there a lot in the United States?
There are not nearly as many as there are in China. In San Francisco, there is, what is it? Palace Games is the big one in San Francisco that is like really well known and really complicated, and I would say like at a higher price point than other escape rooms. There was like a boom in escape rooms, at least here in the Bay Area, before COVID, and then everything was closed, and a lot of them have gone out of business. But there are some there in LA. There are a bunch. It was pretty big in LA. There's one in New Orleans that I cannot remember the name of, but it is supposed to be the one with like the highest production value here in the States. I would say the escape rooms here do not nearly have as high a production value as they do in China. And I would also say here that people do them as an experience, like as a fun experience, but it isn't necessarily an event experience like it seems to be in China. Like I worked in a couple of escape rooms, and people would just, they come in their lunch break, they do it really quick. It's the games are simpler, the turnover is really fast, and it's more about volume than having like a really like extensive sort of theatrical experience. I would love to go to China and do some escape rooms. It looks so cool. I'm just watching. I'm like, oh my gosh, you get a script and you do all these things, and I think that like once everything is open again and it is safer for when it makes more sense financially to do larger scale things, I think something like that, like large scale production escape rooms with like narrative, like all that. We have like some that are kind of small, but I think that is a really interesting, not well saturated market. yeah, look up Palace Games. Palace Games is very cool.
Well, what is like the average price for like escape room in the States?
Let me think. So generally, I would say about $30 a person, but depending on the like how elaborate the escape room is. I'd say the cheaper ones are maybe 30 a person. They want you to do groups of 4 to 6, sometimes, you know, groups of 10, but it gets a little messy when you have that many people in the room. Something like Palace Games has a price point, I think of, I want to say like $120 a person, like $120 a person, maybe more. And with that game, I believe it was for the most maybe 8 people, even though the game itself was pretty like in like a really large space with large rooms. They still kept the amount of people doing it kind of small. Don't quote me on that. That could be a little bit off price point wise, but I would say, you know, most rooms 30 to 60 with, you know, 4 to 6 people. Generally, when people do escape rooms, they either do it in, you know, groups of 4 with like one other couple, or they do it in like, you know, they try to bring in like a whole party to do it. Like it's a very popular thing to do for like birthdays or, you know, just like fun group party hanging out. Yeah, I hope that's helpful. I'm not
Sounds good.
the expert in escape rooms. That would be David was here, wasn't he?
David left. David has.
Left.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the escape people, I believe. So they would know more.
But I do highly recommend like a David and Kimberly, like in terms of like theater-based performance things, especially in the San Francisco and LA market. Yeah. So William, if I feels like William wants to open a store in United States. So David and
that's my point.
Yeah, really good local partner. Yeah, in San Francisco, and you can see like the price range is really high, over $100 per person. That's higher than like actually the ones in Shanghai. But the ones in Shanghai is yeah, that sounds great, right? So next year, like planning to come to the United States.
Yeah, I will say that right now in San Francisco, there is a lot of empty real estate because of COVID. Like a lot of the tech companies have moved their offices, at least temporarily, or they're doing like all remote. So there's a lot of physical real estate that is open. I think it is really challenging in San Francisco to open up a brick and mortar sort of business because it's very expensive. There's a lot of regulations specifically within San Francisco that makes it a little bit more challenging than even other places in California. Los Angeles, I think, might be a little bit easier. California is still very expensive. There are other states like Texas. Denver is very popular right now for businesses that have it's a little bit cheaper and there's fewer regulations as far as doing it. There are a lot of something that's sprung up since the pandemic is a lot of online escape puzzles that aren't necessarily, you know, based in a physical space, but you can do the puzzles online, and those actually are really popular and might be a good way to, like, I don't know, just get like brand recognition, like to start getting brand recognition out there. If you can do like a little online thing, it's cheap to put together, like that's all, you know, brain puzzles.
Yeah, that's really, I think that's really smart. Kimberly brings up a really smart strategy. Like maybe first do the online escape room. Might save a lot of cost.
Get your brand out there. Get everyone excited, and then it's like
get the brand there. And also maybe even use the digital assets from EcoPlants, right? And then like later on, like if the COVID is under control, like then it's up. You have the opportunity to open a physical like a store in United States. That would be impressive as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and I would talk
And then,
to David, like the people that were here before that are the escape room experts that have like the newsletter, because they probably know a lot better than I just know San Francisco real estate, because we're always trying to put up shows here, you know. So
okay, great, perfect. Yeah. Yao, do you have something to add or like
So actually I got a few questions or to ask. So one is for NeXTSCENE. So actually for
okay.
For you, yes. So the EcoPlants, we are producing PBR scanning assets, and also we do digital human beings, and we want to do develop some of the products that combining with online experience, online and offline experience together, technology and culture. So the content creator is important, story is important, culture is important, but also the equipment is also important. So for example, when we build a metaverse, world, right, and we want to show it to the customer or the users, they want to experience it, that will require XR experiences, XR equipment. So which means, for example, AR, VR plus together, and then user they can either stay in their house and they with a equipment, a good equipment, and then they can experience the metaverse. And so if it is possible, we would like to know more partners who are develop develop some of the good AR equipments, VR equipments, and all the related technologies, AI, like for example, AI avatar, right? Digital avatar, so on. Yeah. And another thing is, so we build the fundamental, we build the platform, but what we are lacking of is the resources. So resource of the content. One is, for example, we have the technology, but we do need to, if there is any good places, culture places, or some identical environments, that's very good assets for us. We would like to go there and have our team to go to the places and to scan it and visualize it to 3D contents. Then we can offer to the community. And one is the content, another is the creators. So it's a freelancers. So when we build such a platform, then we will need to involve or invite more content creators or the companies, studios who have a team, and we can offer our technology, PBR scanning technology to them. Then they can use our technology to visualize everything, visualize environment, houses, and a tree, fruits to 3D content, and they can publish the content to our PBR Max digital store. And then because in the future we will build such standard API that will enable different metaverse companies to enrich the content, because there are a lot of metaverse companies such like Roblox, Code Games, Yahaha, and different metaverse, but they are lack of contents. They are lack of 3D contents. So we want to build the largest PBR 3D contents, which provide high quality and very truly immersive experience. So for them, So for us, we do like that. Content creators, equipments, suppliers.
I see.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it's not a question. It's actually, I know what you mean. Like, what do you need from us? But like, and that's what we actually offering, because I think both us, NeXT, and also like Kimberly and Steve, from Epic, we are kind of like the key connections in different parts of the world. For example, like Kimberly and Steve would easily like help you connect to different creators in United States or even across the globe to create this kind of like a VR creators, and also like the different locations. And we are also like doing these things, especially the Chinese market will know a lot of like these kind of creators. I mean, together working with you on creating this kind of like a new metaverse. Yeah, I think that's also the mission for the next year. I mean, like I think I definitely after this summit, we have follow up like we'll do the summary and then like have some follow-up meetings with Kimberly, Steve, and also like Melinda and also David together on thinking about like how we could in the future, in the next year, besides the summit, organizing these kind of like international panels, talking about each other, sharing with each other more frequently every month, and also like in terms of technology, how we could empowering all these creators to let us together migrate into the metaverse world, like by the use of like new technologies such as 3D scanning stuff. Yeah, definitely. At that time, we need your support, right? Okay, cool. And also, like on the other hand, I think related to another things for this network, the global network, we're gonna do is about like an education part. Yeah, I think not only we help you connect with all these creators, but also like maybe we together created some like tutorials how to use these things, how to use the materials, use these things. Maybe together we release this kind of things, so the creators will be easily using the new technologies to create new experiences migrating into metaverse. For example, like even might also like create some tutorials how to use our apps to develop a TRPG game, right? Yeah, Kimberly also maybe even I think for this summit, like you already play a very crucial role in terms of like explaining the US markets. It could be a course like online education course, like talking about the US market. For us, we could talk about the Chinese market. What kind of type of like products is suitable for this market? And then like if they want to further develop on this, you could even like directly contact you as a consultant, help us build a strategy into this market. Yeah, that's all possible. So I think it will be in the future, it will be knowledge based. We will have some like tools or tutorials for people who want to come into this industry. Like they will be easily create some new experiences and learn from this. And then this whole community will grow large. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think it's pretty late today. Yeah. We already have like we were originally planned for 2 hours, but now it's almost like 2 hours and a half and 2 hours 40. Yeah. So do a quick summary. Thank you all guys for like staying this long. And I think this discussion is really helpful for all of us. And I wish this is not the end. This is kind of like the beginning of for the next year's collaboration in terms of like a summit and all following up tutorials, all other things. Yeah. And I wish to see you guys like more frequently later on for other follow-ups like monthly meetups. Yeah. Okay, Kimberly, let's together play on this. Okay, thank you all guys. Like especially Kimberly. Good night.
Yeah. And I just wanted to say that I put my email and I also put Steve's email in the chat. So please feel free to reach out. Steve had to jump off because his internet wasn't working. So please feel free to reach out to him too. And wonderful presentation to everyone. And it was really nice meeting everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for next time.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.